Emily gripped the binding key, its cold metal biting into her palm. Before her loomed the house, a grotesque monument to fear. It pulsed, a grotesque parody of life. The windows were vacant eyes, promising only darkness. This was no ordinary haunting. This house was a prison, and she, its only hope for freedom. Emily had dreamt of this house, its terror seeping into her waking hours. The binding key, a family heirloom, was the answer. It pulsed with a faint inner light, a beacon against the encroaching darkness. She knew she couldn't delay. Taking a shuddering breath, Emily crossed the threshold, the house sighing as she entered. Dust lay thick on the floor, undisturbed for years. Yet the air hummed with a palpable energy. Each room bore the scars of past horrors. Children's toys lay scattered in one room, a rocking horse swaying gently, moved by an unseen hand. In another, a table was set for a meal long gone cold, the chairs pulled out as if in welcome. The house pressed in on her, the air thick with the stench of decay and despair. Whispers followed her, disembodied voices pleading for release. They clung to her, desperate, but she pushed on. The house fed on fear, and she would give it none. The heart of the house was a grand hall, dominated by a sweeping staircase. At its foot stood a spectral figure, shimmering with an ethereal light. It was Oliver, her ancestor, the one who had forged the binding key. His face, though etched with sorrow, held a glimmer of hope.
"Emily," his voice echoed through the hall, a mournful sigh. "You have come. The final confrontation awaits. The house feeds on the terror of those it has trapped. Their fears have coalesced, creating a being of pure nightmare. For generations, this house has imprisoned those who succumbed to their deepest fears. Their terror, their despair, it has all been absorbed, culminating in a being of pure nightmare." He pointed towards a swirling vortex of darkness at the top of the stairs. It crackled with raw energy, a maelstrom of fear given form. "The convergence is almost complete. You must act swiftly, Emily. Use the binding key. Release them from this torment."
Steeling herself, Emily climbed the stairs. Each step was a victory against the oppressive atmosphere. The vortex pulsed, a monstrous heartbeat. It shrieked, a cacophony of tormented souls. But Emily pressed on. She wouldn't be deterred. She raised the binding key, its light intensifying against the encroaching darkness. "You are not real!" she shouted, her voice echoing through the chamber. "This house, this nightmare, it ends now!" With a surge of desperate courage, she plunged the key into the heart of the vortex. The house screamed. Walls buckled, floors groaned, and the vortex erupted in a blinding flash of light. Emily shielded her eyes, the force of the blast throwing her back. Then, silence. She lay in a sun-drenched meadow, the scent of wildflowers heavy in the air. The house, the nightmare, was gone. Rising to her feet, she looked around at the peaceful scene. Birds sang, butterflies danced, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of nearby trees. It was a stark contrast to the oppressive darkness she had just escaped. But a part of her remained uneasy. The silence was almost too perfect. As she walked through the meadow, the sun warm on her face, she noticed a scrap of paper caught beneath a rock. It was a note, the writing faded but still legible. It read, "The convergence may be broken, but fear is a seed ever ready to sprout anew." The note fluttered in the breeze, a stark reminder that evil never truly dies, it merely sleeps, awaiting its chance to rise again. Emily, clutching the binding key, knew her fight was far from over. The house may be gone, but the shadows of fear remained, waiting for their moment to consume the world once more.